Welcome back to this new episode, the Journey Podcast, the #1 podcast in the country. You already know, this is your boy Manzi Mbaya.
That's what's up.
Always your host. I'm here. And guys, I want to take some time to thank you again for always tuning in and listening to our podcast. Man, I feel so grateful, man. I feel so grateful to have you, and also, it's a privilege for me, to have all these countries listening to my podcast. It's amazing. And I will not disappoint you guys. I will always bring you creative people, artists that inspires me, but also I feel like they inspire the world and people around them. So I'm going to introduce you to someone I have in the house. I have a very special guest in the house, and he's a brother of mine from another mother.
That's what's up.
From the motherland, man. And East Africans to East Africans, bro. So it would take a day to introduce my brother here, but I think there is a lot to talk about you. And welcome, bro. Welcome to the Journey Podcast.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much, man. I've heard the ideas. I remember at the beginning when you were telling me, I want to do this podcast. I want to bring all the creative people into one space, and let's just have a conversation.
Yeah.
But the fact that this has come into existence and it's finally here, bro, big up to you, man.
No, big up to yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, Geno.
Hey,
representing Kenya.
That's
man.
What's up.
Big up to yourself.
Thank you so much,
Welcome
man.
to the Journey Podcast.
I'm happy to be
I'm very
here.
honored to invite you to my episode, and I'm looking forward for us to have this conversation and this dialogue for all this time, man. I've been waiting for all these weeks for you to come here in the studio, and grateful for you to come here.
Man,
how you doing, man?
I'm good. It's been a long time coming, huh?
I know.
Long overdue conversation. No, I am great, man. I am great. Grateful as well, man.
Yeah.
The fact that, we're still here in good health.
Yeah.
Despite all the crazy things going on.
I know.
We can still make our art.
Man,
that's a privilege. You just have
That's
to
a
be
privilege,
grateful,
man. And we were having a conversation earlier before we start to record this episode. But guys, I'm going to make sure that you can hear some of the things we talked about, me and Geno.
Yep.
It's a privilege to be an artist, bro. It is a gift.
It's a gift.
It's a gift.
You can't even understand. It's something that, it's almost like it's something spiritual, man.
Yeah.
It finds you, and it's not you who finds it.
Yeah.
If someone asks you, why do you make art? You cannot explain because this and this. You can, but at the same time, it's just like in your blood, in your DNA. You feel like it came from a different place.
Exactly, man.
So it's the one thing that there's no one who can take that away from you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like we artists sometimes tend to be very ungrateful for that, and we take that for granted, but also not seriously, because it is something we do as a habit, and we feel like everyone can do it, but not everyone can do that.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe some people can try to do that, but that is a gift, and we should just do the art for our soul. That's what I feel,
Yeah. Art is expression. There are some things you can learn in a classroom. There are some things that a teacher can teach you, but there are some things that you get and find you that there's no one who can teach you that.
Exactly.
An idea. If you're a painter, there is a way you will look at that image, at that canvas, that will be authentic with yourself. That there's no one who will teach you, okay, I can know how to brush. I can know how to do this. If I'm a musician like me, you can go and give me all the instruments. You can and show me how to play them. These are the chords. These are the scales, the notes. I'm a producer. This is the software. Yeah. But there is another aspect within me which will tell me this is how I should use it. This is the idea. You can give me a piano sound, but I'll change it.
Yeah.
I'll tweak it. That way it makes me feel internally in a different way.
Yeah.
It generates emotion within me. And that is man, that is magic. Honestly,
that is
speaking,
magic, man.
real life magic.
Real life
And
magic.
you just have to be grateful for that.
Always.
You just have to be
always
grateful
for that. And let's talk about being grateful. And I'm grateful that I met you, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, how did we met, man?
Man, that was way back. I think 3.5 years ago. I think we met at I think it was a house party or something like that.
Time flies.
Time flies. House party.
Maybe I met you from Gabby, my girlfriend.
I think so. Gabby and Marie. Like you remember
I think
Marie?
so, yeah.
Yeah. Then I think what like had made us have the connection, like first of all, East African brothers, but more so, man, we are creatives, and creative people just understand each other.
So, yeah, of course.
Yeah, like creative people understand each other. We understand the struggle of creativity and the gift of creativity, and we respect each other's journey.
Exactly.
So that just builds a connection. Like,
Yeah.
man, like explain to me, how did you start dancing? How did you start this? You asked me, how do you make music? Why do you make music?
Yeah.
And we just feed off each other.
Because
Like
we
that.
are also contributing to each other, all of us, you know. I am bringing dance, you are bringing music, you are creating music, you know. And I feel like that instrument of mine, my body, you know, while I'm dancing, moving, you know, I am creating things that I don't even have an idea, you know. They're just coming. Those are expressions, those are storytelling, everything that is coming, and you are there as a producer. You are also creating what you are feeling and also seeing, and when we match it, it's magic.
It's magic.
You know, and talking about that, you are a music producer, you know, and
Yep.
you do music, but you also do music for yourself also.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing recently, like releasing songs, and one of the songs, Siren, one of the
Yep.
songs, and yeah. So let's talk about your current projects for the moment.
Yeah. So right now, it's been a crazy time, especially if I put it at this year. This year, I could arguably say, in terms of as a creative, this is the most I have expanded and really gone into the art.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we had a lockdown,
Yeah.
which means like normally during the day, I'm at the office, come back home, do my music. This time, I was home the whole time,
Yeah.
which means all the ideas that I had, I finally had the time and space to just explore this. Earlier, I was releasing individual songs, then I put them all together, made an EP, yeah. But then now on top of that, I was like making the songs just me.
Yeah.
But then I realized, no, there are other creative people out here, and we need to go and feed off each other.
Yeah.
So now I just got a group of singers, other people who I know in the music industry, or who are just passionate about music, but also have like a daily job and all of that, and didn't know how they can get that expression out.
Yeah.
Found them. I've started doing a bunch of collaborations.
Because sorry for stopping you there, because I've seen on your Instagram with a band, like you were doing drums. So
Yes,
was
yes.
that one of the people you visited?
No, that's so actually on the latest song I released, so that's actually a church band.
Yeah.
So how I got this is funny that you bring this up, because this is actually what will explain how I got into music in the first place.
Yeah.
So my dad was religious. Yeah. Like very like religious, and he was actually on the side he was a pastor.
Yeah.
So of course, you know how they want you. If he wanted me and my brothers to be involved in the music aspect in the church,
In gospel.
in gospel music, exactly. So me, I was more so interested in the drums and guitars and all of that. And so what I did, how I started into music was I was playing the drums.
Yeah.
So I started playing the drums at the age of 5 years old.
Yeah.
So that's what got me into the music. So every time, everywhere I go, because I've had the privilege of living in different places and countries. So in each of those like places, I always make sure I play the drums at the church.
Yeah.
Because that just gives me a connection to the beginning.
The beginning.
Yeah, that's what got me into the music, and I feel at home in front of the drum set.
And it isn't something that maybe your dad forced you to do, you know?
At the beginning, he did. Yeah, at the beginning, that's how it started.
Yeah.
But because I didn't know how valuable it would be,
Yeah.
and he's always been into music. Yeah. So I think all the creative side, I get it off my dad, not my mom, all from my dad. And so only after he introduced me into it, you know, at the beginning when I was a kid, I was like, okay, you know, it's not 100% my thing because I didn't know how to use it. You know, I had the drum set, I could play it, but I was taking lessons, and it became almost like another like subject in school, and I didn't like that. But then once I started to understand the instrument, once I started to see, oh, you can do this. If I hit the drum like this, a snare drum like this, I use the sticks like this, it makes this sound, opened up a world of possibilities. That's how it started. And so now, based on what you see up until now, I mean, now I'm 26, so all those years, I've still just been playing the drums. So now I can say I've been playing the drums for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And so what you've been seeing on Instagram when I'm playing the drums, that's me at the church here.
Yeah.
And then also the good luck thing about that church is that the musicians are very skilled. So I'm learning a lot off of them. They're learning a lot off of me. I've helped them in the production of some songs as individual artists.
Nice.
And
then it is a free space for you guys to share and connect.
Exactly. Exactly. I think with art, you just need a place where you can just express.
Nice.
Yeah, you can just express.
Very nice. Talking about expression, and how does it feel like for you as a Kenyan moving to Rwanda and working here as a consultant, but also you are as a creative person and a producer? How do you manage all this too?
So the beginning when I moved here, I was in Kenya at the time after university. I graduated. But even while I was in university, I mean, I was studying IT and computer science and all of that. I think most people who are producers somehow always end up in IT. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But so I was studying that. Then I finished that. And then, of course, you know, the pressure of society. You need to start making money. You need to start doing this. I was a creative, but at the time, the music was not bringing any money. And I was lucky enough that I had opportunity that came up here. And then I was like, I've not been to Rwanda. This is a great opportunity. Of course, it would be a desk job. Yeah. So I'd be working in communication and media and building awareness of projects around Rwanda and all of that. But at the same time, I was like, who knows? Let's go explore. It's a journey, you know?
Yeah.
And we see what happens. So that's how I came here. And I was just in love with the country. Amazing. I mean, that's why I've stayed for a total of 4.5 years.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people ask me, how have you stayed this long? I mean, this is an amazing place. Yeah, amazing place.
No, I mean, Rwanda is amazing, man. And when you are an expat or a traveler traveling to Rwanda, I feel like, I mean, I'm lucky that everywhere I've traveled, I've never limited myself. You know, when I travel to some places, sometimes you find people limiting themselves. If they travel to Kigali, they just want to stay with maybe other Kenyans.
Yeah.
They just want to hang out with Kenyans, for example, you know.
Yeah.
And I've never felt like that. You know, I don't want to travel maybe, for example, to Tanzania and then I'm hanging out with Rwandese community only in Tanzania, you know. I want to hang out with people in Dar and know how is it here? How is the food? You know, how do people talk? You know, how do people party here? How do people engage? You know, because then you get to know more the place. And I feel like that's what you have been doing, you know, because you've been hanging out with me and my friends and my girlfriend and everyone. And here we are, man. And I feel like you're going to tell me more, but I feel like that's also a good foundation if you travel to a new country and you just be open for experiencing and also meeting people, you know.
Life is vast. Life is so diverse.
Yeah.
And the human being is also very diverse. Has the potential of learning all these like lessons off of different people and all of that. So I think it would be a crime
Yeah.
if I arrived in Rwanda and spent all my times only with Kenyans, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is so much that I could learn of the people here.
Yeah.
That, and as again I said, it's a privilege. Not everyone has the ability of just coming here and
traveling is
staying
a
this long
privilege.
and traveling. Yeah. So I cannot waste it. Everywhere I go, I need to learn more about the place, but at the same time, as you learn more about the place, you learn about yourself.
And do you feel like you've grown as a person?
Yeah.
Since when you came to
Of
today?
course. Dude, I'll be honest with you. As a person, being in Rwanda is the time where I've grown the most.
Yeah.
If I look at the time I came here, I was a total of 21 years old. And I compare now, man, it's the amount of growth is so huge.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And that in that like same way, the growth has also gone into my music.
Exactly.
The music I was making when I first came here is not the same music I'm making now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that growth just goes across all aspects of your life.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I mean, right now I'm in a good place as a creative in terms of music. Like right now, after putting out the EP, now I'm just experimenting.
Amazing.
Now I'm just experimenting.
Talking about your EP, I mean, one of the songs you collaborated with around this creative girl,
Esther.
Esther, and because I feel like I'm not familiar with her work, but I really would want to check her work out. And
Please do,
yeah. And I heard from you that she's amazing.
It's the song is called Paradise, and when I first heard, that's one of the girls who sings at my church. Yeah, I mean, I heard her voice and I was just like, I need this voice on a song.
Yeah.
Her voice can express words in a way that I could never.
Yeah.
And the thing about like music is that it's not about me, it's about the art.
Yeah.
So I have no issue, even if let's say I make a beat, I make a instrumental.
Yeah.
If I know that my voice will not be good on that instrumental, I will let someone else do it in respect to that art.
Exactly.
A lot of artists, maybe it's like, okay, I want to be on the verse. I also want to be on the chorus. I want to be the one who produces, who plays all the instruments.
Yeah.
No, I want to do everything.
Maybe it's not a good timing for you to be on that chorus,
Yeah.
It's just that certain person to be on that chorus because they are the ones that fits well on
who
the chorus.
fits it. Exactly. I hear you. And that's humility. That's one thing. You have to be humble and accept that, but realize, man, art, as you say, art is bigger than us.
It's a collective, bro.
It's a collective.
And talking about collective, when you bring dance, when you bring fine arts, theater, film, media, I would call media an art. When you bring all those things together, it's a collective, bro. And it is a way also to create. I mean, we are here talking about you and your music, talking about our journey as artists, but also talking about our struggles, our achievements, And let's talk about maybe the struggles. Yeah. How is it like? I mean, you are a boy from East Africa, and you have been privileged to grow or to live in different places, How does it feel? Like, do you feel like maybe at some point you struggle to make music when you move around, or do you feel like so many different inspirations depending where you're staying? For example, maybe you're living in Europe for the moment. Do you feel like your music is appreciated the same way from East Africa, in Rwanda or Kenya? I don't know.
That's a very interesting question, man. The struggle that I faced for a good amount of time as a musician and even just as a person was identity.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, especially if you grow up like that, you're young, like when you're very young, your mind can be influenced very easily. Yeah. So that was identity. I still, for a good amount of time, as I was moving around and growing up while moving around, I was like, okay, I'm Geno, but as a musician, who am I? Because let's say when I was in Europe, most of the music I was doing is classical music. That's how I was learning about music in a classical sense.
Exactly.
But I'm like, okay, I can learn it, but it's not really me. Then I got into rock music. Then I lived in Namibia. That's when I really, like, in a proper way, got introduced into rap music and South African house at the same time. And then at the same time, I was like, okay, so maybe this is my thing. Maybe I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
Maybe I can make some house music. So now I experiment with that like that. But that's the thing. I think the struggle of that is also, it's the journey of finding yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now, after having experienced all these things, and even, it's funny, in Rwanda, based on the people that I met when I first arrived, that's when I got more so into, like, you know, this like genre called indie rock somehow. Indie rock, it's like, it's basically almost like rock, but not in a mainstream way. Yeah. But that's based on the people that I was interacting with at the same time. Yeah. But then what that did is it shifted my mind. Because that made me like realize that I actually like making music that's not, let's say, as mainstream. So if you hear a song of mine, like on Paradise, the song doesn't have a chorus. A lot of my songs don't have a chorus. Because I like my song being a journey from A until Z. I don't want what happened in B after I reach, let's say, F, B comes back again. I want you to have a full experience.
Exactly.
And I only learned that when I came here.
It's a journey.
It's a journey, man. So it's a struggle, but it becomes easier. And when you realize change and transformation only happens because of struggle.
And I feel like that is a way also for your journey through founding yourself and founding, actually, I really like this. Or maybe I don't like this. Maybe I liked this in this certain time in the past, but now I'm into this. And maybe it's very important to pass in all those stages, because all those stages, they help you to go to who you are now, or who you are becoming tomorrow. That's why it's a journey. It's always a journey. We are on a journey, and it's an amazing journey.
And I think that's a message that it should be out there more. A lot of people are running around like, I need to have achieved this by now. I need to be this person by now, you know? But you realize that's not how it works. It's a journey.
It's a journey.
It's good. Know who you are. Know what you stand for. But at the same time, be open to life. I mean,
be nice to yourself.
Yeah.
Because we tend to just think like, now maybe I'm 25. I need to have this. I need to have achieved this, this, and this, and this. But we people have different timings. But also in the art, you need to be patient. Every day we are learning. Not only learning, we are meeting different experiences. And also, we just need to have also be good to ourselves, but also have that space of learning, and know that this space of learning, but also the space of growth. You know, let that process also have the space of itself to be free to grow. Because how is it gonna feel once you wake up and maybe they say, oh, Geno, you just woke up and you are working on an album with Beyonce. Yeah, it's a good thing, but at some point you're like, okay, so what is my goal now? Because you're like, okay, I got, maybe I'm saying Beyonce because I love Beyonce, for example.
It's a dream of mine, so please.
Yeah, I love Beyonce and many more, but it's just an example, you know. And that would hit different from if maybe you would work for like maybe a couple of years and then you collaborate with Beyonce. I feel like those two feelings will feel different, you know. Because who knows, man? Who knows? Right now we are here, sitting here. in the couple of years we are meeting in LA, working on a movie or working on something, and it's just that process. We need to be patient with it, and it's an experiment, bro. You never know where you end, and that's, for me personally, that's how amazing it is, because it makes me curious always. When I wake up, I'm like, let me go. When I stretch, when I go to dance, when I do my rehearsals, I'm like, yeah, just do it. You're gifted. Just use that gift, bro. Indeed. Don't take it for granted. One day at a time. You're getting old, and you will not be able to move like you're moving now when you're 25. So just go for it. And one day at a time, you're gonna feel good.
Indeed.
You're gonna be grateful and look back and say, that was a good thing that I didn't stop.
But now,
talking about not stopping, what would you say about that?
That's funny, because I was just about to ask you that.
Okay, ask me.
Yeah, I want to ask you, because bro, I've known you a good amount of time now.
Yeah.
And I know that you have faced your struggles. You have also faced your struggles. And but one thing that has never happened is that you never quit. You never stopped.
Yeah.
So what kept you going? What pushed you?
What are the recipe did you use?
People want to know. Tell us.
Exactly.
What kept you going?
Some salt and sugar. That always works. But anyways, bro, it's a journey, man. And that goes way back. I remember when I started to dance. I've always danced as a kid, and man, it's just sometimes you find yourself doing something and you don't know even why you're doing it.
Yep.
I'm just dancing. I feel good when I'm dancing, And then when you start to meet friends that also have the same passion, then you start to feel like, this is nice. You feel like you have a community. And that's how I felt. And then going through that journey of dancing with friends, creating crews, performing in schools when I was in high school, all that time, it was amazing. It was amazing because it was a time for me to discover my passion, Even if right now I'm still a dancer, choreographer, I'm in media, I'm in film, I'm in many things, but it's a collective that came because of dance. Everything that came after, it came because of dance. And that, for me, dance was a foundation, and dance, for it to be a foundation, it leads to bring all those other talents that I didn't know that I had, and also why I didn't stop. Sometimes, of course, we all have up and downs, Some days I would feel like, man, I'm gonna give up because of the society you grew up in, and sometimes there is this pressure of family, and friends.
Yeah.
You have this pressure, especially in family, because they are the ones that are close to you. They know you since you're a baby, Then they're like, what are you doing for your life? You need to start to think about your future. You need to do this. You need to do this. You go at school, your teachers, they tell you, you need to do this. You need to do this. And then actually no one tells you to just listen to your heart. And maybe they sit down and say, actually, what do you want to do? Do you feel like you want to do dance as a career? What can we contribute?
Yeah.
When we go in education, I feel like I wish that teachers at school, they would just have that hour or 2 hours in a week where they sit with their students and they ask them, what do you want to do, honestly? Yes, maybe we're doing a class of chemistry.
Yeah.
But I see you always doing music. Do you want to be a musician? And I feel like that would be also a way for helping people to not give up on their dreams, and they see that maybe teachers at school, they have their support, and then back home, talking with your family, and they will be just genuine and sit down with you. But Manzi, what do you want to do actually? Do you think you want to dance? Should we pay for a school of dance? Should we pay for... Yeah, can we help? in any ways. But when you grow up in a society that is not used for seeing urban art, and as a professional career, it's always hard because you are the one to deal with it and fight, depending with the passion you have. Because if you are not that strong, of course you're gonna give up. But I feel, coming back to myself, I feel like it was also a challenge. A challenge because I never gave up. I never gave up, even if I knew my parents wouldn't understand it. I knew my teachers at school wouldn't understand it. I knew some of my colleagues at school wouldn't understand it. But I also loved it. I feel like I had the self-love of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that is very important for an artist.
That's
you need
powerful.
to have self-love, because no one will love you more than you love yourself. And it's not about being selfish when I talk about that. People hear me well. It's just about like appreciating yourself, being nice to yourself, being like, yes, I want to do this. Me, Geno, I want to make music. Just make music.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel good, just make music. It doesn't matter if your family doesn't understand it. And I feel like that's what kept me pushing myself, because I was like, you know what, let me just go for it. It's a journey for me. It's a new journey. I'm always learning, but I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel like that was something that kept me pushing myself. And also, like, I was like, I've always been inspired by many people online, watching YouTube videos, many choreographers, maybe like Paris. She's a very famous choreographer now.
Mm-hmm.
She's been working with like Fenty Show for Rihanna.
Okay.
There are many inspiration that I would see there, and I would talk about them. But I'm sure those people, they didn't give up, and so at some point they needed to be themselves. They didn't need anyone's push. They just needed that inside self-love to say, bro, just go for it.
Yeah.
I feel like, so I would not talk too much about that, but the only answer is that I never gave up, because I've always felt good dancing, and I've always felt like myself.
Yeah.
I would just sit there, talk about dance, talk about the art, do theater with people, do movie, do anything. Then I'll feel like I'm in my field.
Yeah.
Even if I knew my parents or anyone wouldn't understand, but I always knew that that's where I feel like myself. When we are sitting here in the studio, I feel like myself. I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing,
Mm-hmm.
And I've been struggling for years, bro. Like, people who follows me, they know I had a TV show called the Manzi Mbaya Talk Show,
Mm-hmm.
And that, shout out to Isaac Kingston, my brother from another mother. When I started that show, I had a dream, and I still have, and I will go back to that show. I'm gonna make it bigger one day.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, when I started that show, it was at a time when I was starting my university.
Okay.
And I wanted to do a show where I just talk with anyone, just a talk show. But the budget was so tight for me, and the budget was big with the vision I had with the TV show.
Of course.
And I remember I had like 3 episodes, but then after I was like, I can afford this. Let me just stop here.
Yeah.
And I received many people comments and messages saying, oh, why did you stop? Blah, blah. But I kept it low key, because I was like, yeah, now I can afford it.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
And I'm like, and I didn't want to bring my show to a TV station, because I knew they didn't have the vision I had, so instead of destroying the vision I had, then I just kept it there. I was like, resume, I will come back to you one day.
Yeah, but like what's amusing and amazing at the same time about that is that that's the thing about art. It's reckless.
Yep.
You try. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you realign. It doesn't mean you quit. It's just realigning.
Yeah.
It's maybe it won't work now, but maybe it will work later.
Yeah.
So ideas, they can always be improved, but it's not that, let's say it didn't happen the way I wanted to, so now I failed, I quit. No. That's not how it is. It's just
it's not maybe the right timing.
It's not the right time.
And you just need to be very patient and also understanding that and be open-minded about that, because otherwise people are different. People will always see things differently. They're going to say, oh, he just started a show and that he just gave up. They will not know the behind the scenes struggle,
Of course.
And they don't need, it's not a must. They don't need to know. It's your journey. Do your thing, and also, I mean, here I am, bro. Here I am. I'm still a dancer. I'm still a dance teacher. I give dance classes. I work on projects, and I'm proud of myself at some point. I'm struggling sometimes, but I also have many things that I've achieved. When I look back and I'm like, yes, I've achieved this. And really, if you are creative there, struggling, just know everything is a process. You have to trust the process. Yeah. And shout out to a friend of mine online. He always says, trust the process. His name is Inwari. He's Rwandese, but he lives in Australia.
Okay.
He moved to Australia, and I mean, I've always tried to follow him online, and he's a videographer, photographer. He's like a storytelling, artist, visual artist. But you see that he is really nice to himself, and that's the good. I'm sure maybe sometimes he think about it, but he doesn't realize that how much he's inspiring many people out there, because he is nice to himself, and that's the most important thing. He's trusting his process, his journey, and through that, I feel like that's a good foundation.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it can be frustrating if you go online on social media, you see all these people showing off whatever, but you don't know the struggle behind. And then sometimes you tend to judge yourself and you're like, am I really producing enough as possible? Am I really? Just be nice to yourself. Be patient. Do what you have to do, and you are Geno. I am Manzi. We are different. We do our art differently.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. And that's what we are contributing to the industry.
Exactly. It's funny you say that because there are a lot of people out here who are not nice with themselves or to themselves. I cannot understand why. I think maybe it's one of those things of comparison. I see this guy has made it. Of course, you don't know the struggle.
Yeah.
And then I look at myself and I'm like, why am I not here? Why am I not there yet?
Yeah, exactly.
And on top of that, you have the pressures of society. Exactly. Are you making money? You're this age now. Are you thinking about having a family? Are you doing this? Are you investing? No. So then you have all these pressures. Yeah. And of course, I mean, it can stress you. It's normal that it will stress you. But you're a human being, but you must be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
I think even on my side, that's something I'm still learning, because when I started making beats and producing in high school, I had my friend Knox and Malcolm, both of them, and both of them were amazing rappers, and I was just a producer. I was not having my voice on songs. So I was just making the beats. We had the biggest ideas. Our plans were huge, but here's the thing. It's like, as time went on and we went our separate ways, because of life obligations, them they stopped. I continued and all of that. But at the same time, it's like, yes, if you ask me now, have you achieved all that you wanted to achieve? Of course I'll say no, not yet. Not even close. Not even close. But that's the thing. It's that it's as you say again, it's about why are you making art?
Exactly.
You see? So here's the thing. Even if, this is dramatic. This is very dramatic what I'm going to say. But even if there's no one who heard my music, let's say I put my music out and no one listened, I would still be making music as hard as I'm making it right now.
That's the spirit.
You see?
That's the spirit.
Because, and then that shows you, if you can say that about your art, it shows you that this is my thing. This is this is almost like my lifeline. This is like what I should be here doing.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that I saw this idea, because, you know, a lot of the times we like the idea of artistry.
Yeah.
You see Jay-Z has made it, and you're like, he's made $1 million.
Yeah.
And you immediately, that's your mind. I want to make $1 million. So let me start making music and become a rapper.
Yeah.
But that's not how it works, you know? That is not how it works.
Mm.
So, yeah, if you find yourself not, as you face the challenges and you're continuing and you're not stopping, man, that alone is fire in your belly for yourself.
Exactly.
That alone, it should be a clear like sign from whoever that this is your thing. This is your, I don't know if you've read the book, The Alchemist.
No.
Yeah, it's basically about a book on this kid on a journey and all of that. But the author, he speaks of something called as a legend. So basically, each person has a legend. And that legend is like, what is the thing that basically defines your life? If I could put it like this, like another way of putting it is, let's say you achieve everything on the planet, but you don't achieve that one thing, it will feel like your life was a waste.
Yeah.
So that one thing that you achieve that is so important, that's your personal legend. Yeah. So if you can find out what that is, if it's dance on your side, like imagine you stopped dancing, but you achieved everything else. You made $1 trillion, all of that. But do you think that you would still have that emptiness inside because you're not dancing?
Of course. I mean, you are happy on another side, but you also feel empty. Because I'm sure with music and dance and arts, it's bigger than me. You know, it's sometimes I don't even know how to explain this, you know, because it is a lifestyle that I found myself in, you know, and it became my identity, you know. And yes, I do this as work, you know. I dance for living, anything related to art, but I also do it for my soul. And without that, I feel very empty. And sometimes it takes some time to realize that, because I mean, 2 years ago, for example, I was, for example, maybe many people don't know this story, but I was with a friend of mine, Dizo. We were working with Sherry Silva, the choreographer, you know, and when we were working with her, because she was here in Rwanda visiting, we got a chance to apply for the World of Dance, this biggest dance competition. And when we applied, we got accepted for the competition, you know. But the thing is, the sad thing about it is that we couldn't get the visa, me and Dizo, to go to the US to perform. And for me, that was very depressing. Maybe only the close ones realized that, but that was very depressing for me, because not only the thing was not I was sad because I didn't go to the US, but the thing is I was sad I couldn't go to the World of Dance. Maybe my level was not that good, like today's level I have in dance, but that's every dancer's dream, to go in World of Dance, to be able to meet all those dancers, you know. And when that happens to you, bro, you feel like everything is finished.
Yeah.
Because you're like, so this is it? This is all the effort I've been doing, every practice, every sweat I've put it on this, just because I'm Rwandese, I'm black. I go there, this white woman tells me, we can't give you the visa. Then I'm like, so this is it?
Yeah.
And then sometimes you get depressed and think too much, you know. But then after I was like, but you know what? This is not the end of the world, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe this was not for me. This was not for me. I was happy that Sherry Silva could go there and other black dancers, they could represent Africa, you know. But personally, I was of course sad that I couldn't make it.
Of course.
Which is normal. You move on as a open-minded person, but it's also like you are like, it's something that comes once in life, and you're like, wow, I just missed it. But you never know what's coming. Maybe
You
in the
never
future.
know.
You know, you never know, and it just shows me that everything is possible.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure dancing in front of Neo and Jennifer, I don't even know how it feels. I feel like that's a life changing. Who knows? Maybe I dance in front of Jennifer and she says, "Bro, I love you. Come to my album. I wanna work with you."
Yeah.
Ultimate goal already. But I trust the journey. You trust the journey.
Trust the process.
I went through that. I moved on. I continued. I developed myself as an artist, as a dancer, you know.
As a human being too.
As a human being. And you learn to know that you learn to know that life is not fair.
Yeah.
Life is not fair, and sometimes you would feel like things are gonna work out, but they don't. And you'll have to learn from that.
One thing that it's so true, because that's an important lesson. Yeah. It also shows you that you can only be in charge of your own sense of self-worth.
Yeah.
You know? Because as you experienced the denial of the visa, I'm sure you had a period of thinking like maybe, you know, I'm not as privileged or or whatever,
man.
that like I would get the visa, like maybe I'm just a small guy. No.
Bro, look at Rwanda. It's beautiful, man. We have a good life, you know. I have a podcast studio. I give dance classes. I'm happy, man. I have family, I have friends, you know. We have good places. We have coffee shops. We have everything. We have touristic places.
Yeah.
Everything is there. Kigali is clean. Kigali is safe. Rwanda is safe. But it's also like, I'm an African. There is a way. Maybe I'm living a good life, but there is a way those people, they see us. They view us. They treat us, you know. Because me, for example, no offense, I started to think more about that when that happened. I was like, man, this is real actually, you know. If someone can deny a visa, tell you that the reason why they deny a visa is that it's because you haven't been out of Africa, and then I'm like,
but I'm trying to get out now. Like,
when am I
going to go out then if
you
you're denying me the visa?
And I understand them. that we have a reputation of like, going abroad and we stay there.
Yeah.
But the question is like, why do we stay there? You guys are the reason why we stay there, because you colonized us. You have created this mindset that we have to underestimate our country and also feel like, life is in Europe. Bro,
a better life is out there.
Europe or America or Asia. That's where life is, or Australia, you know. But then, coming to the art, I feel like that's when we stop creating through our identities. Instead of creating and tell stories through our culture and stories, we start to imitate their stories.
Yeah.
We start to do their things, you know. And that's very sad.
You lose your identity.
And that's why we stay behind.
Yeah.
But look at today. If you look at 15 years back, I don't think Nigerian music was big.
For sure.
But look at now. African music is leading the world.
It's leading.
Look at Burna Boy. Look at Wizkid. Look at Davido. You know, look at everyone is making it. Techno, Tiwa Savage. And I'm like, bro, we are taking over because we Africans have realized that actually our music is rich.
We have something here. I don't know who told us that what we have is not good enough, but they were wrong.
Yeah. And once we realize that, that's now when we are shining. That's when you see Sam Smith working with Burna Boy. You know, that's why you see many people, they have their eyes now on Africa.
Yeah.
But
this is where it's
it's still many things to work on. But
it's also a journey.
So far, it's a good journey. You see that the African culture is respected, you know. And talking about that, last time I went to Paris, I was in Afropunk Music Festival. Bro, I've never seen anything beautiful like that. You know, I was in Afropunk and only watching people, the way they dress, the music, people celebrating their hair, their dreads, their afro. You're like, bro, this is where I should be, man.
This is what it's all about.
This is the place to be.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm sure people are watching us on YouTube, and if you look at my hair, there are dreads now, you know, and it's not a surprise. If I walk in the street in Nyamirambo, I'm gonna meet a couple of old men or old women. They're gonna judge me. I'm gonna be like, what the fuck is that hair? You know, if I go to town, there'll always be people judging me, because that's a colonial mindset.
Yeah.
That's how people have been educated, that your hair doesn't look good.
Yeah, it's too curly, it's too nappy, it's too this. But this is who we are.
Even when you shave, people still don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
And you're like, so when are you guys appreciating? When
What do you want?
When I put, how do we call this? They
The-
call it perruque in French, like this hair they put that looks like white people's hair.
If they relax their hair and then it falls down.
Not
Like,
relaxing,
because-
like when you put the extension. They call extension, right?
Yeah, the extension.
Yeah, for
Oh
example.
no, the wig.
The wig.
Wig.
Yeah, when you put the wig, that's when you're gonna happy. That's when
that's
you think my
ridiculous.
hair looks nice, you know?
That is ridiculous.
And I feel like, and this year was a process for me, like through all thinking all of those things, you know, I was like, I need to be me.
Yeah.
You know, I need to be me. If I want to grow my hair, I grow my hair.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's a challenging journey, but it's also an amazing journey for changing mindsets of people, you know, showing them like, actually, we should be proud of ourselves. And when we come back to the creative side, where are we going?
Yeah.
You know?
Here's what, okay, I need your opinion on this. Yeah? Because a lot of people maybe, I have this idea in my mind, but some may argue that maybe I'm being too, like, rigid and strict and all of that,
Yeah.
right? So, you've heard my music.
Yeah.
You know that, man, at times I even mix rock into that. Yeah. But a lot of the time, when people ask me like, okay, like you're a musician, there were times when either I'm expected to be a rapper
Yeah.
because you're black, or I've had people, like I say I make music and the first thing they ask me is like, okay, give me a freestyle or whatever, or and I'm like, okay, yes, I rap, yes, but that's not all I am. On top of that, I tell people that I make music,
Yeah.
and immediately their mind is like, oh, he's not a serious guy.
Of course.
You know,
Of course. I mean, let me give you an example. That's how we people perceive us as black men or black women, you know. If you tell someone, yeah, I'm a musician, already they just classify you somewhere.
They put you in a box.
Because already the industry people already have made that image that he's a dark skin guy, you know, he's a black guy and he makes music, so he's not that serious, you know.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad.
I mean,
and if you would be white, it would be different.
Yeah. You meet people, like, as I told you, I do consultancy and I have another contract, so I work in an office job, you know. So that, like, working in that environment at times brings you with people that if they ask you, okay, what do you do? Just because I know how they will receive it,
Yeah.
I'd probably just say, yeah, I work here. My hobbies are, because okay, of course I like reading. I like to read, but I'm not gonna say I like to rap too. You know,
Because you know,
because I know
how
what that's.
they
Yeah,
gonna see you.
yeah. I'm not gonna say that I spend 85% of my free time in making beats.
Yeah.
Because then they'll be like, is that how you want to spend your time? No. Because it's just that the appreciation for the art is not.
I mean, it's not enough because people, that's how they have decided to see art in general. And the sad thing is that when concerts comes and shows, they will not hesitate to come to pay to see. but they don't know the struggle behind it.
Yep.
Sometimes some people or some clients, they would write to me, hey Manzi, we would have to, do you give like private dance classes, I would love to have a private dance class with you, whatever, da, 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 da. I'm like, yeah, why not? And then we talk, and it'll be, oh, you're so expensive. In my heart, I'm like, no, I'm not expensive. I should actually double the price, because it's not only that 1 hour I'm going to teach you. I'm going to give you the time. I'm going to count also the time that I took practicing.
Yeah.
The
That's a
time
good
that I
point.
took choosing the music. The passion and the love I've added into that while creating the routine I'm going to be teaching you. Those are things I consider while pricing my classes. And that's very discouraging when you meet people like them, because they have that idea just because I am a guy from East Africa that my classes have to be cheaper.
Cheap.
I mean, I've been processing all of that the past few months, and I've been like, man, I need to double the price of my classes, because when I was in Paris or Sweden traveling, I saw different dance teachers there, and I saw how much appreciation people give them and how much people pay actually. I mean, let's be honest, people. I'm very open in my podcast. My classes currently, you can pay €3. That's 3 Rwandan francs, 3,000 Rwandan francs to enter in my class for 1 hour. If you go to France, Paris, depending with the teacher, if the teacher is famous, maybe it's gonna be a little bit expensive, but maximum 20k, €20 to go in the class.
Yeah.
Per person.
That's crazy.
And me, when I was in Paris, when I was watching, my friend Boone, we became friends after. He's an amazing teacher. He's from Paris. He teaches in a studio called Lax Studio. And when I was watching him teach, I was like, where is the difference? This is how I teach also. I have experience, bro. I've been doing workshops of being an amazing teacher. I have been teaching all over almost 5 years. I know what I'm doing. And when I see people, just because they are from Europe, they are able to charge extra, but just because here you're in Rwanda, when you try to charge extra, people complain. They're like, you're expensive. Yes, but who are these people complaining?
Yeah.
Not Rwandese. Rwandese are not complaining. Expats are complaining.
Yet
And
yet they know the value.
And I'm like, bro, you are an expert. You are making so much money at your work.
Yeah.
And you are telling me that I'm expensive?
This reminds me of...
You wouldn't say that if you are in Europe. You wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
But you are saying that here just because here the money goes a little bit down and you want to save extra money. And I'm like, boy or girl, chill. I know what I'm doing. That's why I'm pricing what I'm pricing.
There was a story you told me one time about someone who came and arrived at your dance class, didn't pay, right? Didn't pay. And then you were like, it's fine. It's a trial. If you like it, come back.
I'm not going to be... This is actually a very funny but also sad story. She was a Chinese girl. She comes to my class. When I finished to teach, when we were cooling down the class, stretching, she just go. She doesn't pay the class. But me, I'm like, it's okay. Because I'm not the one taking the money. I have someone in charge. And then I tell the guy who was in charge of that, I was like, it's okay. Maybe it's her first trial. Let's when she comes back, we will remind her. She comes back, we remind her. He reminded her, you didn't pay last time. And she was like, yeah, but I don't have money on me. Then me, I was like, let her. It's fine. That's the second class.
2 times,
She said she will bring the money on the third class. She comes to the third class. She didn't bring the money. And then she goes in the class. And then while I'm teaching, the the girl, what does she do? She goes out of the class before the class finishes. And I'm like, you are, and me, I'm like I feel so sorry for her. I'm like, you are an expat. You come to a new country. Already you have a white skin. You know how much privilege you have. You know how much history behind that. You know?
Yeah.
And then you come to my class, you disrespect me, you don't want to pay for the class, but you still come for the third time, and you still don't want to pay, and then you leave before the class finishes. And I'm like, wow, so this is how it is?
That's pure
This is
disrespect.
how it is? Then I was like, we artists, especially Rwandans, black people, we need to respect ourselves before these people respect us. You know? Because I was like, you, Manzi, you are naive. You were very respectful, naive, because that's who you are as a person, but you need to also be strict when it comes to your job. Because if some people who disrespect you, just really have that integrity of pushing back. You know?
Definitely.
Because I was like, wow. Even around these men or women will never do that. But just because she feels that she have that white privilege above me, she feels like she can treat me how she wants. I was like, wow,
crazy.
So this is how it is.
You know, this leads me into an interesting topic. Mm-hmm. And you say you are a huge fan of Beyonce, that you love Beyonce.
Mm.
Black is King.
Mm.
Yeah, you've watched it.
I've watched it.
As a matter of fact, I started watching it at you and Gabby's place, and so we didn't finish, but I went back home. I watched it because I was trying to understand.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the message between this thing?
Yeah.
You know, and then of course a lot of people say, yeah, The Lion King, it's a visual album to accompany The Lion King. But I watched it closely. That like whatever it is, that like movie or whatever, it's not about Lion King.
No.
It's not about Lion King. That basically what I got out of it, it's basically saying we are black people. Yeah. You need to get back on the song where it's like, find your way back. Yeah. Saying come back and find your way back who you are. Because in the movie, it starts off he's a kid, he comes up, but then in the movie you see him at some point with like chains and all of this stuff, and then in the song where it goes like, don't you jealous me, no, that's actually not like saying, okay, I'm bragging, but the guy, it's like right before the song starts, he asks him, who are you? So that whole idea and the whole like narrative was that he has all these chains, but at the same time he has the responsibility as a prince to lead his people out. And so what that like movie said was that how we have been it's colonization, is that, okay, now let's go and seek, let's say, all these kind of luxurious things, but at the same time there was the risk in his experience, like in that movie, he lost his sense of who he was. You see? Then the whole idea of that movie after that, as they say, like find your way back and all of that, at the end you see an elder. He meets an elder who's like the chief of the village or something like that. And then only after he has faced his journey and came back and found out who he was, that's when now he could be given the it's called the keys into the kingdom or whatever. Like the whole idea, if he finds his way back, becomes the king and all of that. That's just the same like message that like the movie and her creative environment and people are just expressing to us as black people.
Exactly.
It's our responsibility to come back, and for some like people is to discover.
Exactly.
You know, because not everyone has ever like felt like, you know, this is me, I am capable of this. A lot of people have just been oppressed from day one. You know? But what those like movies and platforms like those they do is they tell you, hey, take a step back, look properly. Where is the like all the fashion that is being made right now? Where do you think those ideas are coming from? Who do you think is
Exactly.
at the back is behind the scenes working on those things? Yeah. So it's like, know your worth, know who you are, and then build yourself.
Just go back and see
Exactly.
the history,
Yeah.
and learn, and also learn to unlearn.
Learn to that's big. That's big. Yeah.
Bro, I mean, we can talk the whole day, man. We can talk the whole day, and I hope our listeners are enjoying this episode,
For
because
sure. I hope so too.
it is a very interesting episode that we're having, and I want you on more episodes. I'm gonna invite
definitely.
you on more, and because I feel like we have a lot of things to talk about, but the time is not our friend right now.
Yeah,
we
I
need
hear
to
you.
finish soon. But also, I want to take this time to also thank you for sharing. And also, those are very interesting conversations we're having that I feel like people also listening to us, they have many comments to add, and feel free to add a comment if you can comment, so that we can all interact and also communicate and make our community even bigger. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, our channel, and make sure you tune in on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Pocket Cast, and Radio Public, and Google Podcast, and Anchor and Breaker, so that we can all connect and build this journey that we started, the Journey Podcast. And I'm gonna be here, Manzi Mbaya, as your host always, and I'm gonna be always bringing you creative people, and I'm so excited. It's a really, really, really privilege for me to be able to not only be an artist, but also be a media personality, and be here, like, having conversations, you inspiring me and inspiring our listeners, and also having very interesting conversations. I mean, is anything you want to say to anyone listening to us, or to a young creative producer out there who is trying to find their way to this industry, man?
Trying to find their way back. But like, first of all, let me just say that what you are doing is, man, it's incredible. It's an inspiration. Even right now, I am leaving here like feeling energized and inspired by you, by what you've built, by your vision, and your relentless kind of drive to just move forward.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's like big up to you, next level, man. And to anyone else out there in the creative space and scene, and because I'm a producer, I'm speaking to all the producers and musicians out there. At the end of the day, this is a gift.
Yeah.
Being able to make music, to express yourself in a creative sense is a gift. And don't let anyone take that gift away from you.
No way.
That is something, I can tell you this now, but every day you have to wake up and remind yourself that.
Yeah.
Because all the time there will be other people and messaging and everything that will try and make you go and forget that.
Yeah.
But remind yourself of that. It's your life, it's a privilege.
Yeah.
And there are people out here,
like
Manzi, like myself, who are there to inspire, to build a platform where you can come and express yourself.
Yeah.
And also just be like role models. So like really, like really just embrace it, be grateful, and trust the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust the process.
Trust the process. Yeah.
Big up to yourself.
Cheers, man.
Guys, I mean, we all heard that, and so much inspiration in this room. Thank you so much. And guys, thank you so much for listening. Also, I'm looking forward to welcome you again to the coming episode. Thank you to Geno.
Hey,
Big up
anytime,
yourself.
bro.
Big up
Anytime.
yourself.
Thank you.
And if you would love to find Geno, you can find him on Instagram. Bro, you would just give us your Instagram handles, and then people can find you. It's Geno.
It's Geno _ TO.
Yeah.
So like Geno, the underlining thingy, and TO.
Yeah.
You can find me there, and on there you can find my Spotify, you can find my YouTube channel. And we can connect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to always connect, and also that's how we grow as individuals and also as a community.
Of course.
So thank you so much, Geno, and
Thank you, bro.
my pleasure to have you here in the Journey Space on
been
the
an
Journey
honor.
podcast. You already know this is the #1 podcast in the country, hosted by your boy, your favorite Manzi Mbaya, and I'm gonna see you guys again to the next episode, the coming episode. So much love for you guys. Thank you so much. This was dope, man.
It's fire.